Okay, we're live. Okay, welcome everyone. Welcome to the Three Marketeers show. Can you imagine? It's already the episode 6. We started this as an experiment. It's number 6 right now. Yay! We started this as an experiment, I think a while ago. And then our plan was to actually make it to do this for about 100 episodes. So we have about 94 episodes to go. You see the mathematics damn bad. So so today we're gonna talk about SEO. Last week was really totally blown away. Everybody was so excited because we have Jamie. Finally, we see a female face there. And then the topic, I received some feedbacks. People say they really like the discussion. They learn a lot of insights from this. I think in the future, we could actually extend this, the Three Marketeer universe, and to invite even more people into our the talk show. So yeah. So basically today we're going to talk about SEO. SEO. I don't know about you guys, but I learned a fair bit about SEO, and I practice a bit about SEO. And I enjoy a bit about the benefit of SEO because eventually, for some of the things that I tried to rank, like Facebook Ads Agency Malaysia back then, and I was trying to rank for Facebook Ads website. Website development all failed miserably, but some worked, some didn't. But I think, do we still need to do the introduction? Do we still need to do the introduction? Okay lah. We do a quick one now. For those who are new to this, right? I thought everybody all friend already, Hey, if you are watching this, say hi. Please just don't be a stranger. We have been, talking to each other for like 4, 5 weeks, 5, 6 weeks. This is already 6 weeks. Friend already. Come in here, gotta say hi, and just so that we know that you are there. We are not talking to the air. So this is the Three Marketeers show. I'm your host. I'm Jason. But the whole idea here is Manfred, Andrew, and I. We wanted to do this where every week we will come together to discuss one specific topic about digital marketing, not just about Facebook advertising. But we want to talk about digital marketing. So we will share mostly from our own experience, and we will share one specific topic at a time. So if you're new to this, remember to click subscribe or follow or like button so that you'll be notified whenever we go live. It's going to be on a weekly basis, every Wednesday 10 a.m. at 10 p.m. On this platform. You can watch it either on Facebook page or YouTube channel. Right now, let's go through one round. Some people are still new to us. But if you already know us, please say hi. Don't be a stranger. But let's go one round, and Manfred. Maybe we start with Manfred. Introduce
for some
yourself
reason,
to everyone.
The name doesn't appear here.
Let me try again.
The name's supposed to appear. Okay, basically I'm Manfred here. The name came out already. Under a request.
No, the thing is because when I do recording, right, I gotta off everything. Because I use StreamYard to do recording for my own video as well. And I'm very lazy one. When I do all my live video, I just, record live and just, Manfred, sorry, over to you.
Yeah. So been doing actually heavily on Facebook marketing more than others. But SEO, in my opinion, is the best ROI for all the digital marketing because the methods. Hi, Jess. The methods that you put in, the effort that you put in, the returns is a lot. Very passive. Hi, Alan. Hi, GY. So,
hey, guys.
I really like SEO. Later, I'll share more. Okay, Andrew. Your turn.
Andrew, what do you do?
I'm the crazy experimenter.
Okay. So
what do you do in your previous life?
How many lives you all have? Come on.
My previous life is a salesperson. So I decided to, I discovered digital marketing, I've been observing how it works. And I think my interest in sales, in marketing, and also the internet also kind of like converge. And digital marketing generally needs all these 3 elements or skills. So yeah, that's what I've been doing for the last 2 years.
Yep. So basically, just 3 of us, 3 of us has got different role here, and then every time when we have a topic, right, then Manfred is the one who is really good at doing all the research and bringing in all the fundamental things. And me and Andrew are sometimes a little bit off here and there, So Manfred, now we want to bring up the first question to you now, because a lot of people have this confusion among these few things. Okay, now I bring up this question. I think Manfred, you need to help us. You need to help most of our so-called audience out there, for those who are not familiar with SEO la, SEM la, PPC, come, let's fill us in a little bit, Manfred.
Okay, so hopefully those people who are experienced with SEO, SEM, bear with me for a few minutes. So just roughly go through. SEO is short for search engine optimization. Basically, when you search something on Google, maybe we do a share screen for that first. So example, in Singapore, I search for insurance. How come my insurance don't have ads one? Give me a minute. Or car insurance or something like that. Let me share screen with you all. Yeah, this one got a lot. Let me. Hold on, let me share screen first. Stop first.
Okay.
I share the other one. Sorry, I didn't.
No problem. So basically, Manfred, as you can see, academic law, he's very, then let him do the lecture first. Come, let's start with this thing. Come.
Okay, so you can see the car insurance in Google. So basically, you can see all the ads are down here, all the SEM. Basically, you pay money, straight away get results. Okay, you can see my type car insurance is FWD, Aviva, Direct Asian, Budget Direct. And below also has some, most of the time. Oh, this one I don't have. Okay, so there are also related search down here. Okay, those organic ones that you see are those without the ADX. See, the first one is budgetdirect.com. They do car insurance code in Singapore. That's a title, followed by the description and some ratings. Aviva is second, FWD is third. With all this, basically, it's closely related to the search term. Okay, so that's without the AD is SEO. With the AD itself is SEM, or called SEM. Search engine marketing or PPC, pay per click. Okay, any issues? Okay, any issues? No issues. So we are clear.
All smooth. I'm actually typing in to ask everyone to, if you have any questions, type them in because we may not be able to answer all questions, because we are not expert in SEO. Of course, those people who are expert in SEO, please bear with us. We are trying to discuss here, just three men talking here, so don't be too mean. Okay, so basically, the idea here is, I think Manfred brought up a very good explanation about the difference, where they show you, basically if you go to search engine, this is what I understand, fundamentally Facebook advertising and search engine marketing are two different animals. Facebook advertising is very good at push advertising, which is, it's just like you giving out flyers and all these things, right? So if your product need this kind of marketing where you really need to actively go out and look for people to be introduced to your product, that Facebook advertising work really well. But for certain products or certain industries, Google advertising or so-called search engine advertising plays a very significant role. Like, for example, nobody will go to Facebook and look for Facebook advertising agency. That's for my case. Okay, so if I go and run ads to promote my agency part of business, it doesn't work. It doesn't make sense. Okay, so rather, I do a lot of back-end work to increase my ranking for specific keywords such as Facebook advertising agency Malaysia and all these kind of things. So I will share with you a little bit about how I do my SEO optimization. Okay, but if essentially SEO means you do a lot of your website optimization, as in like you write content and then you do backlink, you do link building in between, and then basically that is purely organic. That's what I understand. Okay, which is, of course, you can hire somebody to do this for you on behalf, and there's professional people who are really good at SEO ranking, because I learned a little bit about SEO, but I'm not good at it. It worked well for me. But however, on the other side, SEM or PPC works very easily. You just need to go out and go and make sure that you bid for those keywords whenever people look for your service or product or services, then you appear. So in my opinion, this is pull advertising, which is totally different from Facebook advertising, which is push. So pull advertising means when there is a person looking for you, you gotta be there. You have to put a bait there so that they will bite you. Now, when they bite, they come over to your website. That is another story. So at least SEM and PPC allows you to actively surface yourself, introduce yourself when there's an intent. That's what I understand. Right, Andrew, you have anything to fill us in about your opinion about this thing? Because different people, yeah.
Okay, let's be a bit more academic today, because of Manfred.
We are teacher here,
generally,
teacher.
you look at the funnel idea is you have top of the funnel, you have middle of the funnel, then you have the bottom of the funnel. Okay, so when you use platforms like Instagram, Facebook, when you advertise, it's basically top of the funnel where you want to get the word out to people. Either they may be problem aware, but they may not be solution aware. So that's where Facebook ads comes in. Then when you want to target people who are problem and solution aware, where they were specifically looking for a specific solution or specific product or specific service, then the middle and bottom funnel is where you use platforms like Google search or PPC or search ads. Because generally, like what Jason has mentioned is, I would only be, when I want to look for a specific thing, like for example, Facebook advertising, I would only go to Google and search for it. And the very fact that if they come across either your listing or your ad, and we click on it, the chances are they are already looking for that problem. Otherwise, they wouldn't be doing a search. You wouldn't do a random search for, let's say, a literature for the fun of it. You see, so
What?
it's very directed.
Okay. No, I just a new word to me. Suddenly, I couldn't catch it. Anyway.
So, in a marketing standpoint, is you got to use both, because one, Facebook, Instagram, and all the other social media is to get the word out, try to hook them into an offering that you may have, and at the same time to cater to people who are lower down to the funnel where they are actually looking for solutions or looking for your products, and you got to make sure you're there. So I noticed a lot of friends when I was talking to them about digital marketing, first thing first, they came up the word that they say is always SEO. And for the life of me, I couldn't understand why. And this afternoon, I was just going through this while doing the planning for today's show. Is I think the reason why the SEO is kind of attractive for a lot of people is, one is because the perception is it's free. All you need to do is, put the keywords in your website and all those things, and people will come. You don't have to advertise and all those things. So the fallacy of this is, from my personal experience, is you may have the best SEO, you may get the best SEO guy to help you rank, but the problem is what happens after that when they click on that particular link and goes to your website. And a lot of people fail to realize is, they don't ask this one simple question is, what do you really want to achieve when people come to your site? Irrespective of the SEO, whatever it is. So, Jason, we talk about the before the click and after the click.
Yep.
The key thing is what happened after the click. And if they are not prepared, if the objective of people coming in and they are not sure, why do you, what's the next step do you want them to do, and you don't set it up properly, you're basically wasting the click. And especially if you do PPC, which I will talk later, you're actually wasting money, because people will come in, they look at it, the content may not be relevant to them based on what they're searching for, and you wasted money because of it, because every click costs money as far as pay-per-click in Google search is concerned, right? And even if you don't advertise, then if I look at, let's say, a Manfred website, and I was looking about, let's say, insurance, and he happens to somehow or other by the stroke of luck or whatever it is, got ranked #1, and I click on his site, but the information in the site is not congruent with basically what I'm searching for, I will just bounce. So you have a lot of so-called vanity metrics like traffic coming in, but at the same time, you realize that your bounce rate is very high, because when I go in, I don't see what I want, and it's not, the headline is not right, the content is not right, there's no next steps that I could do, then you basically wasted that. So SEO in itself is powerful, but it is even more powerful if you have that flow, exactly what you want them to do when they go in, what you want them to do when they consume your content and goes to the next step, either sell your products or lead them to more videos to introduce yourself, to get them familiar with it, or either to basically send you a lead or whatever it is. So that part is generally not talked about.
A lot of times the SEO part, we wanted, the end goal is to collect emails, or maybe they reach there, they spend time watching the video or read the thing. We can do Facebook retargeting. That's where, but provided your content is there, your blog is very interesting.
Yeah, this also comes back to the. I think a lot of people kind of misunderstood SEO. I mean, to my opinion, I mean, I'm not really an SEO practitioner, but in a way, like I said, I benefit from the from the SEO ranking that I actually achieve. But the whole idea here is, I think eventually, whenever we are producing content or whenever we are looking at the SEO aspect of it, I think providing answer is really the angle to look at. As in, like, you shouldn't be stuffing all the keyword in the page where you optimize for certain keyword, but like what Andrew said, when the click goes over, there is no substance to hold the click, and eventually it lost all the, all everything is actually kind of like poof. It doesn't make sense. You pull all the click in, also you have high bounce rate, it also doesn't make sense. So instead of looking at the SEO perspective of it, I would rather look at another angle, which is how can we actually provide value? And then again, the next question would be, what is the ultimate action that I want you to take? So I agree with Manfred where, if you want to bring people through the click, then eventually you must be well prepared. The article itself must be good then. And then you must have a very strong call to action, well designed in the sense where it does convert these clicks into an email, because we all agree that a click is nothing if it doesn't transact. And the minimum transaction we want it to happen on our side is definitely to get an email. So I think the three of us agree in this aspect where, SEO itself is powerful, but a lot of people kind of like, mystified SEO where it's kind of like today, just now, I was just having an interview with an agency, the real estate agency in Singapore, where they brought us in to chat a little bit about digital marketing and Facebook advertising with their team of members. The leader actually mentioned about this. A lot of people, when they started digital marketing, same like what Andrew mentioned just now, right? Digital marketing, SEO becomes the first thing that comes into their mind because of one reason: it's free.
Not exactly free, you still have to do
exactly. Because in a way, people understand it in a sense where I don't need to pay. If I do it well, I don't need to pay. But the key here is, how do you bloody do it well in the first place? That's the thing. And you do well in SEO, you bring it over after the click also become another question over here, right?
There are some people who don't really like SEO because it takes roughly 3 to 6 months to see results, and people are impatient. So normally, if you want to test certain keywords itself, I do strongly recommend that you do pay search first, or SEM and PPC, to try out. Then you migrate over to do SEO. But SEO and SEM is two different beasts also. Because like you use SEM, you Google AdWords, or I should call it Google Ads. You should use their keyword planner. The keywords itself is actually different for SEO. So
which leads us to the next question over here, Manfred. I think I want to bring up the next question, which we talk about too. So I'll bring this up. So basically, the other discussion topic that we have here is we want to go over the tools required for SEO and SEM, of course. So I'll leave this over to Manfred, because I think he's more prepared on this thing to share with us about what are the tools available.
Okay, so when we do SEO itself, there are certain things that you need. Google Search Console is vital, especially to disavow links. I'm not sure whether you all have experienced negative SEO attack. I personally experienced SEO attack, unfortunately. So, what is that? Okay, say example car insurance. Okay, maybe the company Great Eastern used to be always ranked #1 for car insurance. Then one fine day, it disappeared. The search result disappeared. It's actually some competitors keep associating your search result with negative, like porn, Viagra, casino, until it's so much. Google thinks that this link is a spammy website. So they take it out, and they doesn't even inform you. So you have to be quite diligent. Once in every few days, you go and check whether those keywords your search result will count. We call it search engine result page.
Okay.
Suddenly disappeared. So in order to remedy this issue, no choice. You just use back the same link. Kill the link itself. Open up another link. Say, example, your result is greatislam.com/car insurance. Then that page cannot rank already, right? It's been taken out. So maybe you put a new, exactly the same page, but you rename it as greatislam.com/car insurance-sg. After some times, it will slowly crawl back. So it is important using this Google Search Console to go in and check all those spammy websites. You can visually check and disavow those. It happened to me before. I'm going to share with you. Okay, that's one for Google Search Console. Google My Business, obviously, you have a list of business. If you have a physical entity, it actually helps. And you can encourage people to do reviews. It helps in especially the Google Map. Okay.
Right.
Let's go into details. And the most important of all, Google Analytics, because I always believe, okay, this one is a bigger topic. I try to cut it short. I don't want to give a lecture. The main thing is
it's already sort of.
the main thing is don't be too obsessed with. Yeah, it's important to see your. I always get hold of search engine SEO agencies, the ranking of the keywords itself. Yeah, it's good to go to page 1 and gradually pull up. So when you are somewhere there already, don't be too obsessed. Rank number 1, rank number 2. Although there is a percentage, some people only click on the first rank, don't click on second rank. But the most important you measure is, okay, ranking is just the top level of, on the search engine result page. Second thing is the traffic, how much traffic came in. Then finally, how many people drop you the email address and submit the email address. So you're using Google Analytics to set it as a goal. Okay, how many people go to that and submit the email address to you? That is the most important part, because you need to have tangible benefit to submit to your bosses. Because every month you spend agency to do SEO, then end up say, oh, we always rank number 1, we got more keywords rank number 1. Then in business sense, what does it mean? They want something tangible. So let's say, okay, this month we collected 100 emails, next month we increase 200 emails. Then when you have collected all these emails, you can do Facebook, do custom audience. In fact, Google also has something similar called similar audience, but you have to spend, if not wrong, spend a certain amount of money, then you can use that, something similar. I think Twitter also has something similar. So these are the 3 things: Google Search Console, Google My Business, and Google Analytics. Later on, I want to show you one very interesting tool that I always use called Ahref. Later on, we'll talk more. Okay, guys.
Yeah, for those who are new to the show, okay. By the way, if you are new to this, you are watching the 3 Marketeers show. So basically, every Wednesday 10 p.m., 3 dudes, sometimes extra 1 or 2%. We are inviting our guests to come in. Sorry.
Special guest.
Special guests. We will invite some special guests from time to time, but essentially it's just 3 of us most of the time. So
we add one more person that we play mahjong.
Okay. Oh yeah. We never tried virtual play mahjong. I don't know how this thing works, but anyway. So WOW is website of the week. So website of the week is really, Manfred's job. Every week he will actually share one interesting website that is useful related to the topic that we are talking about. But Manfred, we just talk about the Google Analytics. Drew, you remember you actually went through some kind of like learning process about Google Analytics, and recently there is some changes coming over to the Google Analytics. You have anything to share about Google Analytics, as in like what are the things that we should look into?
I'm still studying the GA4 because some of the reporting
a new one, right?
Yes, but it's generally is supposed to be a lot more complete in terms of the tracking the flow of traffic from either mobile and web. Those days is, you can either do web, and then if you want to do app, it has to be a different one, and you can't see that. Because when you view a website, sometimes you may receive an email on your phone, and you either click on the website, goes to your phone from your phone, and then when you come back, you may not complete the transaction. You come back and go into your desktop and you do it. So with GA4, it's supposed to basically be able to merge this together. But there are a lot more features that's not being rolled out yet. For example, like cross-platform or so-called what's the term? Linking different sites together, cross-site linking. So
attribution kind of thing?
Sorry?
Attribution kind of thing?
Yes. So they'll be rolling out. But generally, if you start applying Google Analytics to your website, which is new, it will be GA4 would be the default. Those who already have, for example, like some of us who have our own website, then we can actually turn on the GA4 in parallel with your GA3, which is basically your GTAG or Google Analytics formal version, and then you start collecting data first. So it will be a good time to, if you already have a website and you've deployed the previous version of GA, you should turn it on. It's quite straightforward. It's quite simple. As soon as you go to your dashboard, you should be able to see it. You just upgrade, and start collecting data.
Right. So that's the GA4. GA stands for Google Analytics. 4 means I think the version,
Version 4 lah. Yeah.
version 4 lah.
And
Okay.
But the
GA4
interface is a lot
supposed
more
to
cooler.
cover web and mobile.
Yes, now it
Yeah.
covers web and mobile. Previously, the web and app.
Cross-platform tracking, I think it's what you call it, cross-platform or cross-device tracking.
For me,
Yeah.
I'm still using Firebase for mobile. I haven't got a chance to try it GA4. No time.
Oh, no, it's called
Maybe you should.
cross-domain linking. Cross-domain.
Cross-domain
I
linking.
use cross-domains. For example, if I have two different websites of, let's say, jasongun.com, and then you have another one on Shopify called shop.jasongun. It's different websites. So you want to be able to say, and then they go from there to Shopify, it must be attributed that it's coming from your website. So the cross-domain linking is the one that is not being deployed now, but it's available in June.
Yeah, I think it makes total sense. In fact, you see, nowadays, especially now with the mobile devices, switching in between is so easy right now.
Yes.
Right. Cool. I think I like the tools section part. Thanks for filling in on your experience with the new one, Andrew. So I think I want to bring us to the next question. You see, like by yamming 2 questions already half an hour. So you see, that's the best part of this 3 Marketeers show. Sometimes you have to bear with us a little bit because in between, we chit chat and all that. But now, next question over here is like, how do we measure SEO? I think this is a very interesting question. Now, when I spend a lot of time and go and do my articles writing, go and do my content planning and all this kind of thing, how do you measure SEO? So what I think different people will have different angle coming from this, but I don't know. Maybe we can start with Manfred. I think how do we measure?
This one actually briefly I have touched in just now the previous question. So let's take a step back and see how SEO is actually built. So the foundation of SEO is actually built on pages. First, you need to create the necessary pages to have a fighting chance to rank in Google. It's like digging out the footprint of your home. And you need more content of those pages so that Google can determine that the page is both relevant and authoritatively enough to be ranked. It's like laying the concrete base to fortify your foundation. If you're either weak in these 2 areas, like number of pages or number of words on the pages, then your foundation is not going to be strong. So remember, it's the number of pages to make the website more comprehensive, and the words itself, and of course, it's relevant, not keyword stuffing inside the pages. So
do you have any guideline on this thing since we are actually at this topic? Is there any guideline that you guys have practiced? I can offer something over here. I think this is something that something that I've been doing. You see, whenever I want to create a new landing page, okay, this is something that you guys can refer to. I'm not saying that whatever I did is actually the correct one. Because you see, when it comes to, in my opinion, an SEO has got a lot of factors. One of the very important factor is the age of your domain. So the older your domain is, the higher. We have this trust ranking or whatever. There are different ranking factors.
Domain authority.
Domain authority is one of the very important one. Now, when you have an age website, and if you already have certain pages or certain keywords of the website rank very highly, some of the pages rank very highly on certain keywords, then your website has got a lot more weight. Now, when let's say, for example, let's take trapupacademy.com. So whenever I want to create a new course or a new page, let's say, for example, I want to do a Facebook Ads Analytics course, because my website has already quite ranked okay. So this is what I maintain. In order for a page to rank well, my page can rank within a week because of my age. My website has been around for quite a while. So if I want to rank for certain keyword, right, the best case I have is within a week, I can already rank the top 10 pages. Okay, so how do I do that? Minimum, you must have at least 1,000 words. That's my benchmark. And 1,000 words, right, in a way, you don't stuff the keyword. I agree with Manfred, but you don't stuff, how do you rank? You still have to stuff to a certain level. So I don't stuff, but I do, basically I try to make sure that keyword will at least appear 10 times. That's my practice. So let's say, for example, I'm trying
naturally
to
not
naturally Of course, you don't go and like squeeze in and all this. You have to naturally write it into the sentence, and it has to appear at least about 10 times in the article. And then if you can, right, it has to appear at least 1 to 2 times in your header text. So if you can, header is damn important, especially the first header coming in. That should actually work, and then after that, you should have another H2. To do that. That's what I practice. So in a way, right, that will make the whole positioning very well. And when it comes to keyword also, I sometimes would like to go for some longer tail, but more flexible kind of keyword. Like for example, I would do Facebook marketing agency Malaysia, or I probably would go like preferred Facebook marketing agency, Facebook advertising agency Malaysia, or Malaysia Facebook advertising agency. So it works for the long tail. I mean, for the longer keyword phrase is Malaysia Facebook advertising agency, but you may rank well for Malaysia Facebook advertising agency, but you will rank fairly for Facebook advertising agency generally. So it's kind of like the length of the key phrase that we are trying to rank. So that's what I do. So some takeaway if you want to try practicing this. I'm not saying that it's gonna work for you, but that's how I have been doing this for the past 10 years. My website rank okay, man. 1,000 words, at least 1,000 words. Okay, at least 1,000 words.
I like to add on to Jason's what he mentioned. So when you build the 1,000 words, for him is 1,000. For me, I have no idea. I just put, okay. So there's this technique called Skyscraper Technique. It's from this guy called Brian Dean. So can we show the website for this guy? This guy is how
Let me bring it in.
Yeah. This guy his website is
Backlinko.
So this guy actually is a spokesperson for SEM Rush, and this Larry also listen to his podcast also. So he has a lot of blog where I read. So one is most famous one is this Backlinko. Let's go back to our screen. So just to introduce, maybe this I'll pass Jason the link, then you can share it inside.
Yeah, while we are at this, I want to actually say hi a little bit to Chiwa, because Chiwa has been very active. I think he's very excited. This guy is some savvy SEO guy. We are not ignoring your question, but let us go through some of the things that we want to go through, and we will come back to chit-chat session.
Answer your question.
Basically, to Chiwa is chit-chat lah. This guy seems to know his stuff. Then I think here is kind of like, hey, you in a way you want to be part of this thing, one day you can come over to be a guest over here, right? Oh, Chiwa? I'm extending my invitation over. Then we can talk SEO version 2.
SEO version 2. So in terms of this skyscraper technique, is to identify someone who has done very well for that topic itself. Then from there, you learn from them. I always like to say imitation is the best form of compliment. You see what your strength, what kind of keywords actually. So there's another tool which personally I like it very much. Let me stop the. So, Jason, can you show this Ahrefs?
Ken, I am. What you want me to show on my screen or your screen?
As in
you haven't shared yours. You have to share again.
I haven't shared mine. Okay, hold on. Give me a minute.
Ken. So Ahrefs. How do you read this?
Ahrefs. For information, the HQ is actually in Singapore. So it's
is it?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Really?
I really like their. I strongly recommend you go to their YouTube channel and watch all their video. And their 7-day trial is only $7, but it's a very powerful tool, but also quite expensive also.
Okay, I'm bringing you. Okay. Here's the thing. Why you scroll to the very back end?
No, I want to show you the very end because they are free tools. Okay. Free tools, but mainly checking your own website. Okay. They teaches you a lot of things. I learned a lot of tricks from them. Okay.
Right.
So this is one. Then, but basically, if you take these free tools, you only can check your own website. Once you have, okay, I'm sharing with you what I did. What I did. Okay, this tool you can stop the sharing screen. So how I do the SEO part is mainly I identified the source of authority. Say example, this is industry. This website is the authority. People always go there. So you try to find out why people go to the website, then use Ahrefs to inspire people. So the Chinese saying, "What 知彼知彼，方能百战百胜." Right?
Okay.
Andrew don't understand. Let me translate it. As in, if you know yourself, know your enemy. Within 100 battles, you win 100 battles. So when you know that these are their authorities, you go to your website, you find, this website, this particular page, always got a lot of traffic there. So you imitate them. In fact, you try to outdo them. That's the spirit of skyscraper. They already built a skyscraper already. Then you copy. I said, okay, don't use the copy. You learn from them. Then you build an even taller, make it better. There's even things like they can check on competitors. Wow, this website got a lot of link, but their link, the data is 2010 top 10. It's very outdated already. Then you can find all the various links. You do a 2021 top 10 B2B must know guideline. You outshine them. Make sure your article is so useful, so value added. Then you go to all these backlink, go invite them, say, hey, I got this link. You don't link to them, you just can't link to me. That's how you do backlinking. But I'm more a content person rather than backlink. They have a lot of funny things to do. Then you can check all your broken links. And I strongly recommend. There's actually another tool also out there. I can't remember, but Ahrefs is one of the tools that I
But since
like.
we are at Ahrefs, right? My friend, I think one point of time, I think it's just not long ago, I actually signed up to one of their. It's the free tool over here. So this is something like I get it. This is what do you know what is this? This is kind of like the dashboard where I can actually look at my own website kind of thing.
The free one you're using now?
I'm using the free one.
But you can't see other people's websites. For example, I have your competitor. I have abc.com.
Oh, so this is my own lah.
So you can see, then you do adjustment. You go and watch the YouTube video step by step. Everything is there already. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's really a treasure chest of knowledge down there.
Okay.
You notice how if you take Ahrefs as a model for SEO, you notice an amount of tools or free tools that they stock up into on their website is actually designed to draw traffic from multiple angles. It is part of their SEO strategy.
Yep.
Right. And when you do that in terms of Google, when you have a lot of traffic and a lot of engagement, the key thing is engagement on your website, which what Ahrefs is doing. Then obviously in terms of ranking, whether they're running ads or either in terms of organic ranking, they will be higher because Google is not just looking into content, they also look at engagement. And also I think what I read from GA4 is also one of the angles that Google is looking when it comes to their algorithm moving forward. It's not just page view, it's going to go beyond that to ranking as well.
Correct. I agree. I mean, basically, I think it's about the value lah. So back to Manfred's argument where I think the content is a lot more important. But however, we can actually take this further, learning from Ahrefs angle here. Because Chiwai did, I think, at the very beginning part, Chiwai asked, is there any tool that we can use for offsite SEO? Now, this is what I understand about offsite SEO means you bring the link inside, right? And then he further explained about link building, and he said that, you have on-site, and let's try to read this. Chiwai damn long. Basically, Chiwai knows his stuff as from here, So basically, he's just saying that when the on-site is done well, right, the off-site become a very difficult part to do. But this is something that we can learn from Ahrefs, and I can relate about this because this is something that I did as well. Now, my first experiment to get good backlink. Okay, I have a few angles to look at it. In order to get good backlink, let me hide this, else Andrew's face will be half blocked. So now let's talk about let's talk about the offsite SEO. I don't know, is there any technique that you guys have now? I can share a few.
You can buy press release also.
Press release is one thing. I think the easiest way is to get people voluntarily give you backlink.
Yeah.
Do you know how to do that?
If your content is very good.
The content is one thing, or you offer something free. When you offer something free, like for example, there was one point I was giving away a 29 lesson class free. So when I actually announce it to the world, right, those people, yes, there are certain websites that actually go and scrap or rank all this free stuff coming in. Immediately, these people start linking back to me because they want to point to their audience that there is this dude giving away free stuff.
Value added, what? Giving value, what?
Yeah. So when free stuff, I mean, same thing happens to Ahrefs over here, right? When he said that there is a tool to bloody spy on your thing, I think Manfred would definitely the first person to go and blog about it and backlink, and then I would talk about it in my YouTube video, backlink. So these are all backlink, easily built. So in my opinion, I think the easiest way to build backlink is to give value. And if you are able to give something, that is totally no-brainer for people to mention about you, I think it makes sense. Rather than, I'm not that kind of person. Not to say I don't want to. I can, that we can actually do some link exchange and all that. But I think it may not work that well. So that's the first method that I use that worked really well for me, which is to offer something really valuable and free. And then second thing that I used that I did really well, and it worked really well for me for the backlink, affiliate. No brainer, right? Affiliate,
Yep.
hands down. Because the moment you offer affiliate means you have all the reason for these people to talk about you.
Yep.
Yeah. So these are the two methods that work really well for my backlink. As you can see here, my website score is ranked, is scored quite okay. Especially recently, we have a spike. I think that mainly come from these two angles. Free stuff. You don't need to have a lot. Sometimes you only need to have one bloody free ebook. You can use that to build this thing for about, I don't know, 3-5 years down, no problem. If it's evergreen. So that's my take about the offsite. I hope I actually added some value to the topic that you are trying to refer to, Chiwai. Right? So that's my part. Okay,
This is
now
part of the non-sexy. This is a non-sexy part of SEO that not many people talk about.
Yeah, but it worked. On my case, worked like
you still have
like
to
a
do the
charm.
work. Yeah, you still have to do the work.
Yep.
We still got one more question.
Then we
from
have another
Joseph,
question. Let me bring this in. Yeah, I think we have another question from Joseph. Joseph, how are you, man? Joseph from Philippines. All his good friends. Joseph attended my 3-day challenge for Lazada store. So Joseph is asking, is there any, is there something we can do with Lazada in terms of SEO and optimization? I haven't done this before. What do you think? Have you guys done this before? I'm not sure.
Because the Lazada store is actually not your property. You can't really do anything unless you have a website that you keep talking about your product. Then finally the purchase is actually at the Lazada store. Then the website is under your control. I think that makes sense for SEO, in terms of SEO.
But if we look at the skeleton or fundamental of SEO building, is first the website must have good ranking, which Lazada has. And if you're able to use the normal, which is the content building method to build your product landing page, as in like you optimize for all these keywords and all these coming in, that should work. I'm just thinking it should work.
I never tried before, to be honest.
I never tried before. I mean, sorry,
I
Joseph.
think there's a limit in terms of number of characters, right? If I'm not wrong. So, and there's a lot of tricks. Because in Google sense that the H1, H2 is important, the keywords. You must know the trend. There's a, say example, in this industry or the things that you sell, that certain people are looking for, say example, red massage chair. Maybe for some reason, red massage chair, red color one is really popular. Then you can direct them to find this thing. But I think there is a restriction in terms of the format. So maybe it's quite challenging if you talk about in SEO. And there's a lot of things besides putting content. There's also what Jiwa has shared with you, all the on-site part things. But
if you look at this, the H1 could be the product name. As in, like, if you build the product name, that should be H1. Should work. It should be that one. The H1, the title.
I never tried before.
The main header. Never tried before. But another angle that we can consider, I'm just thinking out loud, I'm not sure whether you guys agree to this or not. Build a landing page before bringing over to the product. If you have something specific that you know that you're able to build or rank this keyword, I think
I would do
building
that,
a landing page could be an angle. Building a landing page, yeah.
Yes.
Right.
And
because that also capture the intent, no?
Yeah. If you have multiple products, then you should have multiple landing page very specific to that product. And then you SEO based on that page itself or each individual page.
Normally, what I will do.
That would be a proper way to do it. I would do that. If you ask me, I would do that.
If you got time and money, you want to try, it's okay. If you do not have that, then maybe you try to find the closest example to model after them. That will be easier. If someone has done successfully and have traffic coming in, then you know what to do already.
But if it's Lazada, how do we know?
Yeah, it's difficult. It's
right. If it's Lazada, we can't know. So basically, it's pretty much come back to, if you want to build SEO angle for your Lazada product or Shopee product, something that you're selling on your whatever marketplaces out there, I think we have to do this. We have to build a landing, because that also helps us capture.
I think in this case may not because you see SEO will take time. If you do e-com, then use the social network to do the top of the funnel to get them in or to get a message out, rather than focusing time on SEO already.
Yeah, I agree. I think back to the bottom, eventually SEO is not going to do you good. Because
Yeah.
when you finally rank for that keyword, then you move on to sell the next product. Already.
Unless if it's an evergreen product, yes. But generally, I think if you want to target for stuff like 111 or something like that, Facebook, Instagram, social media, that should give you a faster return.
I agree. Now, I think that brings us to our last topic over here, which we want to talk about the content building versus link building. So I think, I don't know, I'm a person who is more into, I think we can actually have a balance of both. But before I actually go into my case, I learned something very interesting lately. And it worked really well for me. And that could be something that I can share to us maybe after this. But on this topic, is there anything that you guys want to actually discuss about? As in for content building and link building.
When we do content building and backlinking, I started as in I really focus on content building. I really bring in a lot of content in. But there is a limit because you must understand there's a commercial value. So there's this thing keeps asking me, do I really need backlink? There's no denying that having backlink can help you rank higher in Google. If you ask any experienced SEO practitioner, they will all review. But how do you get a meaningful amount of search traffic from this query that have some sort of commercial value? Of course, back to the same tool, Ahrefs Content Explorer. So as what Jason has just mentioned, you have better luck to be ranked or found with long tail keyword. Example, Bluetooth headset under $50. Maybe really for a lot of people searching for it. But there's only that many that you can find. Then if there's a very big if you are like Jason, have a high authority website, you can rank high competitive keyword even though you have zero backlink. But a lot of times, project with really very new website, so it's very challenging. You really have to see what kind of situation you're in. So to sum it up, while targeting low competitive topics is a great way to start a site because you just want to take the lowest hanging fruit and gain traction first to get some traffic coming in. But the reality is you will run out of all these easy topics to target very fast. So, and to be honest, if they are really good, other website, your competitor will do the same thing also because it's quite common sense. Right? If it's long tail keywords and it's really got traffic, people will pick it up. So in the end, you still have to do backlinks. I prefer to do content first to figure out, then you do backlinks to try to complement it.
I agree. Drew, anything?
Makes sense.
Makes sense, right?
Yep.
Now I want to share my latest. I wouldn't say it's technique. I was doing it for the fun of doing it, and eventually it worked really well for me.
Oh, do share, man. Do share.
YouTube SEO, right?
Oh,
now, you all know that YouTube is the second largest search engine after Google, and it actually belongs to Google. So these two things are actually working very well together. So what I did recently is, for those who follow me, recent month only, I started to get slightly more active on YouTube, where I tried to do more proper video. This is my journey. I tried to do more proper video. I go and learn from all these guru. You have to do at least 5-7 minutes video. Then you have to do the editing. Beginning, you have to go and fly the logo in, blah, blah, blah. Go and get people to hook and all this. And eventually, I try all this and I fail miserably and I hate it because cannot allow it. So much work, And then what I actually did recently? I just delete. This is what I do, I just go on camera, I just talk on one topic, 1, 2, 3 minutes max. Okay, I don't even do much, whatever intro, back or whatever outro and all that. I just throw it to YouTube. So when you throw enough videos to YouTube, right, and every video is kind of like, of course, you will put a link back to your website. And what happened right now is I have some of them YouTube video that rank really high on specific topics. I think some of you can relate. How many of you actually came here because you saw some of the video about online selling, Shopee selling, Lazada selling, or even lead generation, or even property? These people came in like this afternoon. I was just talking to Roy, which is the head of the agency that I'm actually interviewed me in the afternoon just now. He said he actually found me through YouTube. So when people found you through YouTube, they will actually follow the breadcrumbs to come over to you. And YouTube has got a backlink. And YouTube itself is ranking very high in the Google search engine as well. So at the moment, I can tell I have, I would say at least 20%, about 10 to 20% of my revenue is coming from YouTube, not of the advertisement. I only have 700 plus followers. I cannot run ads. I wouldn't want to run ads, but like what Manfred was saying, the content itself has got has to give the commercial value, whereby, let's say, if you stumble upon my YouTube talking about lead gen, and I offer lead gen course or a course that is related, so that naturally brings you into my website. So when this thing happens, frequent enough, and I think it actually sends certain signal to Google or YouTube and saying that, this is kind of like a flowing kind of thing. I don't know. Does this count as backlink? I'm not sure. And it works beautifully for me.
No, backlink is where, say example, right now we put Ahrefs down here, and actually people click. So this actually
I
links
do have,
back.
because when I put on my video, right, and I will say this is the related course that I'm offering. So you click, it comes back. At the moment, right, for my specific courses, like let's say, the Shopee related course and all that, I have at least 30% of the traffic coming from YouTube, 20 to 30% of the traffic, organic ones, are coming from YouTube. No joke. It worked really well for me. So that's an angle that I want you guys to start looking into, because this is really not something everybody can just imitate. And if you are really looking at YouTube SEO, a bit of advice that I can share with you, because I've been through the stage where, try to do well done. Now I do all these lighting. You have no idea how much I spend on all these equipments. And then spend so much time, go and crack the topic, and cannot work. Now, this is something I can teach you. Short videos. Key takeaway. If you want to go for video, bloody short videos. Why? Very simple. If you are straight to the point. Now I'm actually doing under 2 minutes kind of video. Short video. You don't even need to bother about edit. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. This is really happening right now. I just launched a series of...
I keep watching him.
Yeah.
A lot.
Short videos, don't go over more than 5 minutes. If you can, right, try to hit one point at a time. Now I'm actually even going shorter. At that point, I was actually doing 5 to 7 minutes. Now I'm going under 3 minutes. Very simple. The moment you have short video and go straight to the point, drop all this nonsense, flying in logo and all this nonsense, and engage people. And when your video gets average of more than 50% retention rate, then everything goes.
No, so you see,
50% retention rate.
I keep watching you, then even when your next one will appear automatically as the first one, then I have a habit.
It will actually increase because this is the first signal that YouTube captures your video as high quality is when somebody watched the video more than 50%.
More all the way.
Normally 50%. More than 50%. Normally all the way. If I only give you like one key point, I talk about how do you do audience targeting for bloody 2 minutes. How do you drop? Unless you're not interested in the topic. But in the first place, you Google this thing, right? So, I mean, the angle will be this. You look for this, correct? You look for it on YouTube. You come over to my site. This is the answer that you're looking for. Watch for 2 minutes. That's it. So when you do this kind of thing, right? Oh, I tell you, I mean, recently I'm seeing another push in terms of my overall follower count and the view time and the view. And some of my videos, I'm having about 60% to 70% of the impression are actually coming from YouTube recommendation. So it works. So here's the trick.
Try that. That's interesting. I'm gonna try that.
So you flirt. You don't care, Sorry, Manfred. I got excited.
So what Jason said, in financial terms, it's called compounding. You keep compounding. You see, you keep doing the right thing. It compound, get more and more audience.
Yeah,
it's very important. But the key thing really must provide value. Hook the person in with a story, then ideally with a CTA. Hook, story, CTA.
But you must have an offer grid. That's another thing.
I actually learned it straight to that topic itself.
Correct. The topic has to be something that you are doing and it has got commercial value to you. So it's either you want to build your authority or you actually want to bring people back to your site to buy something or something like that. It has to actually come to a balance. So go for the questions that people will be asking. And you don't care when you're talking about a minute. This is what I'm actually doing right now. Every day, I'm doing one video. I don't care, 1 to 2 minutes. And I'm going to push it into my Facebook group. At the same time, I'm going to push it to YouTube. So I'm doing this experiment. I will do 100 videos. I mean, as in one video a day for 100 days. I'll see what will happen towards the end of it. But I'm already seeing this. I'm already going on a daily schedule right now on YouTube. Different ballgame.
But if your industry, because industry, sometimes different industry varies. So if your industry is very difficult, say example, maybe insurance or or maybe real estates. So maybe real estate not really. Maybe say something in insurance. Insurance is really quite tough. So you might want to get their email address first. Then you can do lookalike audience, or you can do email marketing to them.
But even email also, let's say you are giving an ebook, right? I mean, email has to be something that has a free offer.
You must give them something e-exchange, say example ebook or something that you can give it to them. So that's one thing. More on content. Then I sidetrack a bit. When we talk about SEO so much, there's another field called ASO, App Store Search Optimization. It's just a twin of SEO, but there is more mainly changing the App Store, and Apple App Store and Google Play is a bit different also. So the images and so on and so forth. Just for information, the one I do a bit. I'm not really expert at that. But that is also the twin of SEO, called more for mobile app, ASO, App Store Search App. Then I just sidetrack another bit, since we do a bit so much about content building. All three of us always been talking about pay ads, Facebook. SEO not really paid, you still have to do a bit of tweaking and something building. There's another group of people out there who do organic Facebook or organic LinkedIn and organic Instagram. I'm trying to follow them also, and they really open my mind.
I admire these people, man. I have no idea how.
Not easy. I tell you, really not easy. And they go groups. They try to provide value. Same thing. Provide value to their prospect. Build relationship. Change a relationship from a stranger to acquaintance to friend. Then you say, since I take care of your disinterest, then I am offering my services to you. So that's a very long hook. So far, I haven't finished listening to all these things yet. So far,
have you hooked up yet? Have you paid?
So far, my biggest concern is scaling. You do so much for so long, you only get a few customers unless you really only need a few customers. So scaling, it might be a bit of an issue in terms of organic. I'm not criticizing their approach. I'm still listening because it already opened my, because my whole world is always pay ad. So I'm still listening. I'm still learning. So if you all have something different, can share with me in the comments also. So that is also in terms of content building also. But no matter come back to SEO, your content building do so much, you still have to do a bit of link building. But nevertheless, my opinion is do content first. Make sure people really want to read what you want to share. Then you do link building, because money spent already cannot take back already.
But I think at the end of the day, whatever link, all this building, SEO and all that, right? Well, I think the most important thing is about the business model building. At the end of the day, you build SEO so good and all that, if you're not able to convert, I think it doesn't make sense as well. So that also boils down to, for whatever business that we are in, I think we really need to, especially now with all this bloody pandemic thing, I'm not sure whether this is going to end anytime soon, but eventually you need to make sure that the model is not so soon. Because you see, for my case, right, my SEO was built towards my physical classes. So at that point of time when the whole thing turns over, I was really suffering. So I think you really have to look at, if your business is struggling, I mean, it's sidetrack a little bit. I think what we really need to do here is this is what I learned. Together with Andrew, we went through this 6-day challenge, development process and all that. We learned tremendous thing from here. So what we're actually looking here is you must, at the moment, because a lot of things are being digital right now, we want to bring it online. Whether you're doing this content building or all this, you want to build a value ladder to bring people towards the ultimate thing. But what I'm actually suggesting here is if we are able to make money from the get-go at the very beginning of the journey, that'll be the best thing. But if we can't, you have to do something like what Manfred was saying just now. You must be able to scale. Either you scale it or you make good money or at least decent money from the very beginning. Else, I mean, it's all on the survival mode right now, you see. So that's what I have towards the very end of the show today. Is there anything else you guys want to add on? Or let's quickly go over just your last few advice to the audience that, we have 13 people still watching with us up to now. Thank you so much. Wait, who is that? I don't know. Can you say hi? Okay. I hope you are
giving quite a very dry topic.
I don't see it's dry though. These people are still there.
Okay. Okay, to sum it up for my end, I think it is important to identify your top SEO competitors. There are businesses definitely ranking higher than your business for your target keyword. So once you have that list of top competitors, you try to learn from your competitors. Some reviewing SEO ranking factors like the website structure, website copy, meta tag, blog content and frequency, backlink profile using Ahrefs, go and see. Okay, Google My Business profile optimization, how they optimize the thing, website UX, usability, and technical SEO factors. I don't want to go too technical. I'm also not an expert in terms of SEO, but there are really a lot of things to learn from there.
Yeah. We have saying hi, and we have Charlie. Charlie has been, with us for a while. Charlie say thanks for sharing. Well said, thank you, Charlie. And we have Chiwai, this Chiwai, not dry at all. He said not dry. The other sentence you're going to read yourself. Anyway, so right. I mean, yeah, Andrew. Not dry. They say not dry. They like it.
Focus on for me, if you ask me, I will focus on after the click. The idea is if you don't have enough content to lead them along the customer journey and the customer value, for example, whatever tactics you may deploy is just vanity metrics. Your after the click, your content, your step, what would lead them to take the next step, the follow-up process, the entire ecosystem of marketing has to be deployed in order to make sure that you benefit fully from the SEO.
Yeah, I agree with both Manfred that says about, looking at your competitor, and Andrew about building the whole ecosystem. But fundamentally, like I said, I think it's part of what agreeing to Andrew, it's about a business model. It's about how do you build a value ladder. When you build your SEO so strong, coming in, there is nothing to buy, or they don't know how to buy, or don't know what to buy, that also falls apart. So that actually kind of link the whole thing together. So you need to relook into your business model while you're building the SEO. Everything has to jive together. Okay, so I think that's all
the topic itself try to be, say example, your 5 topics try to be interrelated. So when they read one topic itself, they will go to the second topic to read, and third topic to read also. Yeah.
Actually, same thing happens to YouTube. YouTube loves those kind of video that actually gets people to stay.
They don't want you to go from Amazon. You see, you want to buy that. You may like this, you might like this, you might like this also.
So if you're building a topic, right, you want to build at least 5 to 10 videos surrounding that topic. There's another thing that I can actually share with you. So let's say if you want to talk about Shopee store, let's say, for example, I'm very strong on Facebook ads for Shopee and all this, and this is my keyword. You need to build at least 5 to 10 videos of surrounding this thing. So when people hit on one video, then the next video will come in and all that. The longer people stay because of your video, okay, the better it is for you to keep. And another thing, this is what I learned, okay? This is what I learned. When you have a book, break the entire content of the books into pieces and share all of them. Totally counterintuitive, right? A lot of people will say that it's a bloody book. If you share all of them, why would people want to buy this book anymore? Now, if the book you break into pieces, because when you break into pieces, they can't cover all. They want to buy the book and see everything.
Yeah.
But when you break into pieces, right, you multiply the value of the book that you've just written and create so damn a lot of valuable content out there to bring people into your book. Make sense?
Good point.
Makes sense, right? Makes sense, right? Give everything. The idea is give everything. When you give everything, you get everything.
If you absorb like YouTube or article part by part, and it's all valuable, just like the Gary Vee one that I mentioned to you, the Jack right hook. People keep receiving good thing, keep receiving good thing. They say, hey, my new book coming up. Do you want to buy? Of course, I will buy one. Even you want to sell me the existing book, I will still buy, because good things, good things. And one whole chunk is good things I will surely buy, because I wanted to level up also. In terms of what we just shared.
Yep. So
any objection to what we just say now, guys?
What do you think about giving away? I mean, that actually happened to me. I personally went through paradigm shift in terms of giving, but when I break that, right, it changed everything, because I also shifted. I mean, this Andrew know a little bit about my personal kind of journey in the past few months. Because I started as an agency, I always have this fear of, giving too much and eventually jeopardize. And I decided to drop the agency. And the moment I go into enter the teacher mode, everything changed, man. Because when I enter teacher mode, I give everything. When I give everything, I get everything, in a way, right? It's the other way around.
That's the other way around.
抓不住那个东西，要放开，拥有全世界。
Yeah. So So I think that gives everybody some food for thought tonight. And thank you so much. Thank you everybody for. Yeah, it's an hour and 5 minutes. Right? Next week, we want to talk about real estate or not? Let me see if I can bring this guy to come in and share with us about, then we have two angles already: real estate in Singapore and real estate in Malaysia. Oh, you guys okay with that? Yeah, let me confirm with the guy, Roy, and see whether he's okay next week. And if he can, then, then next week is gonna be foursome. No, not so right. Okay lah, we have special guests.
Okay, it's 11 o'clock at night, so that's
play mahjong.
So next week we play mahjong. Okay. So thanks guys. Thank you so much. Not tomorrow, but next week, next Wednesday, 10 p.m. We're gonna be here at the same time. And if there is any questions, anything you want to share, anything you want us to talk about, please leave us comment. And if you really like this, remember to click the subscribe and follow or like or whatever, so that you'll be notified whenever we go live again in the future. So thank you so much for staying with us up to now. It's about an hour plus. Thank you, Chiwai. Thank you, Eng. Thank you. Who else? We have Charlie here. I hope basically Joseph is still here. And of course, we have Raymond. Raymond also from Philippines. And Alan, I hope you're still there. And Jesse, the first person who say hi to us. Thank you so much for staying with us up to now. And we will see you next week. Okay.
Don't forget our podcast, rank us on our podcast as well.
Oh, yeah. We have podcasts as well. Tomorrow, I'm actually going to post the link. And just you can actually listen or watch us anywhere you want. So we are everywhere. Hopefully, we're everywhere. Okay.
Apple iTunes.
Yeah, we actually tried. I haven't go on Apple iTunes yet. I need to find where on.
We're on Spotify. Yeah, we're on Spotify.
We're on Spotify. That's for sure. We're on Spotify. You can go and subscribe to us. We are on Spotify, but iTunes, I'm finding out. Okay. All right.
Okay, guys.
Thanks everyone, and good night. We'll see you next week. Okay. Bye. See you. Bye.